time for our favourite pre-news section. Where did Sam Driver get that shirt? It's a lovely shirt,
It's
mate.
from a designer called Juan Ortiz, and he is Of The Dead 209 on Instagram. But yeah, he does like just crazy versions of t-shirts and just all sorts
It's a great
of
WrestleMania
interesting
as
ones.
well.
I've got like a Japanese Undertaker one. I've got, loads of cool stuff. I've got Vader one.
I haven't seen your Vader one.
I wear the Vader one all the time. I'm surprised you've not seen it.
I'm livid. Wear it next time. Anyway, here is your wrestling news. We have an update on CM Punk's in-ring return. A huge main event has been added to NXT TakeOver 36. And did you spot the trainee standout from WWE making their TV debut last night? We'll talk about that in a bit. CM Punk news. We haven't had that in a while.
CM Punk.
CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk.
What's the news then, Tom?
Yeah. What? Oh, news, fine. Fightful giving us this one. So a little bit of spec around what could potentially be the return of CM Punk. We're going to read from Sean Fightful of rossap.com, who says, in addition to doing training on his own, CM Punk has also done training with the stars of the Stars show, Heels. This is the wrestling drama show that's coming out. It looks ace.
I'm going to be slow on the uptake with it because I'm slow on the uptake with most stuff, but fingers crossed, it's good.
It's going to be good times, and I think they had the red carpet for it yesterday, so it's not long till it comes out. Fightful has been able to speak with some wrestlers and cast members who have worked with him over the past 6 months. One source said that CM Punk looked completely healthy, which is good, especially as compared to the tail end of his WWE run. He wasn't in a good place when he came away from WWE. Another source indicated that Punk was very good in the ring to the point where they wondered if he'd been training in private leading up to being in the ring with them. And a third source has indicated that Punk was working so well in the ring, it was as if he'd never left. CM Punk AEW confirmed.
He hit a leg drop. No,
he did a springboard acai moonsault.
There's apparent reports that Punk has wrestled under a mask here and there every now and just dropping in and out of stuff. But for somebody who is going into work on a show about wrestlers, and I'm assuming play a wrestler in the show, you're probably going to go and do some training somewhere in private before getting back to that. So that does kind of make sense that he's maybe trained up a bit beforehand. It's just all hype, isn't it? The
hype is so high. Week Friday, we'll get our answer. I genuinely think that if he is not already booked for AEW and they're doing Chicago's going
to burn. I genuinely think they would just deconstruct that arena if Punk no show.
I think
not no shows, but Punk isn't on the card.
I think there'd be heck on if CM Punk doesn't turn up in Chicago. They've so, and not even right. And I know you'll go, yeah, but you've teased it by talking about it on your wrestling channel. And yeah, we're an aggregator. We're an aggregator, and we'll aggregate you in a minute. But AEW haven't done themselves any favours, cutting to fans chanting CM Punk, getting Darby Allin to talk about the best in the world.
You've got
Tony.
It's that lineup with the reveal of Christian, right, where everybody was like, oh well, it's not CM Punk, it's not. It's like, just calm it down. Like, I'm sure that they've got some sort of plan, and even if he's not joining the company, I'm sure they've got some sort of plan in order to play off that expectation and surprise us nicely in a different way.
What if it's D'Lo Brown?
What if it is D'Lo Brown?
What a great day that would be.
The forbidden door is open.
He's climbing.
The forbidden door is open.
He's climbing through the forbidden window, is D'Lo Brown. Ring of Honor news. Now, Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor is coming up. The show kind of before Final Battle, their penultimate show of the year. It's moving location. So this is news because due to the recent surge of COVID in Florida, they're no longer holding Death Before Dishonor at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Now, at time that Sam and I sit here with you, we don't know where it's going to be. But a new location is being announced very, very soon for September the 12th.
It's just not going to be at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, which I've been to, and it was by far and away the worst venue to get home from after a wrestling show of all time.
Wow.
There's just nothing around it. It's just out in the stick. It was Mania week. I mean, it was Mania weekend. So it was impossible. Like, we had to kind of just hitch taxis, like small local taxis, to like the next place, and we were going from like Denny's to get home until we could finally get an Uber. It was mental. It took us hours, like absolutely hours.
As well, I'm hoping that the logistics will be better wherever they land.
I just went off on a complete tangent there about getting stuck in Lakeland. Sorry.
It reminded me of the show that I was booked for on Boxing Day of 2018, and it was in Stockton-on-Tees. I was back home.
Boxing Day in Stockton.
Boxing Day in Stockton. What a dream. And I remember that I travelled back from Worcester, where I'd been seeing my folks, first thing in the morning, but Boxing Day, the trains were a nightmare. It might have even been the day after Boxing Day, but anyway. It took me about 6 hours to get there. Got there, and there'd been a problem with the technical equipment, and they couldn't do commentary anyway. So I went home. It was it's quite the day. Quite the day. Bad. What a day. Anyway, let's talk about some brighter wrestling news. Let's look at NXT. It's all happy there at the moment. Can't see any reason why anybody wouldn't be. Now, okay, all lulls aside, right? Away from the stuff behind the scenes and the crowd going, NXT's great.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
We still have to report on the product and what's happening.
And you know what? Last night's NXT was very good.
Really?
There were some nice things on last night's NXT. We had a heck of a main event between Pete Dunne and Ilya Dragunov. We had a great showdown between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, which we will get to very, very shortly. And we had lots of other fun segments in amongst it as well, including more fun and games between Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. A $1 Million Championship match has been added to NXT TakeOver 36.
I'm all for anything that gets that belt on TV more.
Yes.
Like I love that title. I don't know why, but I just love it.
It's a little piece of history, it's a little piece of nostalgia on the shoulder of LA Knight. You know, it
should be on the shoulder of Cameron Grimes.
Well, if it's not by the end of TakeOver 36, then Ted DiBiase becomes LA Knight's butler. And there's part of me that goes, I kind of want to see the segments. I kind of want to see the vignettes.
Imagine DiBiase getting turned into Virgil.
I mean, it would be fitting. That could happen. That could happen. That could be a thing. Also confirmed for TakeOver 36, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, one big finale, an undisputed finale, a blowout between these two. Best of 3 falls. They didn't call it 3 stages of hell, Sam.
Okay.
But it is a 3 stages of hell, Sam.
Yes, so they kind of got to pick their own steps, didn't they? And Kyle O'Reilly picked a traditional match, Adam Cole a street fight, and William Regal announced that if they go to a 3rd fall, the stipulation will be steel cage. Now, what they should have done is loser leaves town, and then they both lose one. And it's like, what happens now? And then Regal's like, I'm the champ.
A paradox match.
He just makes himself champ.
That'd be amazing. But isn't it? I think with all that's going on behind the scenes, like I feel like I'm connecting a lot of dots that probably aren't meant to be connected to.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that like if Triple H seems to be sort of becoming less in control of NXT, how fitting that this final match with Adam Cole in NXT is basically the match he had against Austin at No Way Out 2001. 3 stages of hell, isn't it? Single, street fight, and then a cage match. If it ends with Adam Cole clonking Kyle O'Reilly with a sledgehammer and falling on him just to the end.
And then the sticker comes off the back of his trunks and it's just Triple H.
It was me all along.
They just reboot WWE and everybody's playing 90s characters again.
What a treat that would be. So that's happening. And do you know what? They'll have a really good sort of NXT style wild 1 hour kick out of being hit by a Ford Cortina type match. And I like those matches. I'm fine with them. And during that final segment, we got the TV debut of a standout from the Performance Center.
Yes, we had Performance Center recruit Parker Boudreaux making his first NXT appearance. Just in and among it. So William Regal was hosting a face-off segment in the ring with Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, all to set up the gimmick match and everything, as we were just talking about. But the segment featured Boudreaux and other Performance Center recruits acting as security guards, which is something we see quite a lot. Obviously, back in the day, you'd also have like the Rosebuds, like Braun famously was a Rosebud. Like, you can go back now and it's just Alien seeing him. It's like, what? But yeah, like besides him, there was also Sean Tan, Fei Sheng Wang, Bronson Rex Steiner, who is the son of Rick Steiner. Incidentally, do you know where Rick Steiner's name came from? We'll get to that in a sec. Patrick Belton, Cal Bloom, Brutus Creed, and Julius Creed. They were all in that segment. But yeah, so Rick Steiner's real name's Robert.
Okay, Robert Rex Steiner.
Yes, and because the name Rex Steiner sounds like Rick Steiner, he became Rick Steiner.
Ah, the more you know. I like that. Hey, how fun to see those two in a segment together.
I can't wait to see Bronson. I can't wait.
Just think, right? WrestleMania 57, headlined by Bronson versus Bordeaux.
I'm such a mark for the Steiners, man. I don't know why. I just am WCW through and through, man.
I'm going to put a little note into the time capsule here for this, right? So when Bronson, Rex Steiner, and Parker Bordeaux headline WrestleMania 50 whatever, to my son, who is no doubt doing this now, I am dead. Remember this moment, because you can put it in a list of here's the top 10 times we saw wrestlers before they main evented WrestleMania. Join us. Thank you, son. There's also a tenner under my bed in case money is still a thing in the future. Anything you want to say to your future children in case they're looking at this for a list?
I don't know, man. I just don't know. I figure that we've probably signed your life rights away with the contracts here, so
yeah,
just get into wrestling, I guess. You know.
Sam Driver Jr., your life before
No,
you.
you'll have a cool name like Knuckles or Nails.
Or Bronson.
Or like something Driver plus Knuckle, like
Pile.
Yeah, with Knuckles.
Call him Pile. It's going to be a silly Wednesday. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.